Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we are going to be looking into what Spirit has in store for you for some encouraging, good news, and uplifting messages on their way in for you. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful kindred spirits, and anyone new who may be joining us here on the channel today. If this is your first time, just letting you know I put out new readings every single Monday for love, career, spirituality, educational videos on charm casting, and so much more in the works. So do feel free to subscribe to keep in on the community here. But we are going to be looking into the good news that's on its way in for you, some uplifting and encouraging, hopeful messages from Spirit and from your guides. Whoever you may work with. So we're going to be looking at these piles here in a moment, but if you'd like to support this space even further and support yourself, you're welcome to check out the private readings for snail mail readings, where I send a letter to you in the mail. It's typewritten on a vintage typewriter and very unique to you and your specific needs and whatever you are currently looking into for any queries or questions on your mind. But you can also check out the Maybon paper that I'm offering right now too for spell and ritual papers. These are handmade papers from recycled ingredients and recycled papers. So they're very eco-friendly, very easy to use, and great for your manifestation, spell work, and working. So feel free to check those out as well for the Maybon season and for the harvest season as well. But with that all said, if you want to support this space, you can check all of that out down below. But we're going to go ahead and look at these piles. So with the 3 piles today, I was feeling called to these little trinkets. So here for the first one, we have this little pendant. It has a piece of tiger's eye in the center here. Oops. And it has this sort of more antique or vintage feel. So that is group 1. For group 2 here, we have this piece of orange peel, this dried piece of orange peel in the shape of a star or even a flower if you wish, but that is pile number 2. And then here, last but not least, is pile number 3 with a little trinket or charm of a golden butterfly here. So that is pile number 3. So before you start heading off to the timestamps and rushing off to your piles, I like to invite you to take a deep cleansing, grounding breath here with me so you can really connect with your guides, with your intuition, and see which piles are really calling out to you. So let's go ahead and take that deep breath together here now. And as always, there's no right or wrong way to choose your piles here. You can choose all 3 of the piles. You can flip-flop between them. You can see what Spirit is really calling you out to. There really is no rule and there's no right or wrong way. But all of the timestamps will be down below if you're looking for them, and you can also check them out with the chapter marks of this video. And if you're interested in any of those offerings, they are down below to support this channel and yourself. But you can also check out my Instagram if you're curious to see more of the magic and spirituality and art magic that I get up to and within the community. So yeah, with that all said, let's go ahead and get started here with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this little pendant with some tiger's eye in the middle, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to set it here so you can see it during your reading here today, as we are going to be using the charms as well as several different decks here and the Cosmic Slumber Tarot deck, which I'll have all of which listed down below, but we're going to be using them to look into the uplifting messages, joyous messages, hopeful messages, encouraging messages that are coming through for some good news from Spirit. Things that are coming in that are going to give you hope, relief, excitement, or joy, or just give you a little bit to take off your plate, right? So we're going to see what those messages are here in a moment, but do feel free to get yourself settled, get yourself cozy and comfy for this. Feel free to call in your guides as well and pause and really have, light some incense or make a whole ceremony or ritual out of it. And as always, do feel free to bring in your own intuition to this space and see what little signals and things that are coming in that are very specific and unique to you. Really listen to those and feel welcome to use your own intuition here with me today, to create a reading together. So with that in mind, do feel free to get yourself cozy and all. And feel free to send your energy in through time and space. And let's see what Spirit is bringing in for some uplifting messages for you. And I just got a ringing in my left ear, so that's already a good sign. I feel like that happens a lot when I'm connecting with my own guides. So, okay, so we have the 5 of Torches. Let's see what else we have coming in here. As always, feel free to send your energy in. They are flying out. I'm going to go ahead and take that one as well. And I feel like there's a 4th card for you guys today. So I'm going to pull one final card. We have the 3 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and the 5 of Torches. As well as the Prince of Torches. All right, so let's see what we have coming in here. Okay, I feel like they really want to showcase a lot to do with this torch energy. Torches having a lot to do with the Wands in Tarot, which is all about kind of overcoming certain struggles through passion, determination, willpower, and confidence. And then you also have the 3 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups here kind of aligning all of this. There seems to be that you might be currently in a space right now that is feeling like a bit of a struggle, feeling like a bit of a climb. It might be having to do with something in the workplace. It could be with your coworkers or those you work with, you network with. It doesn't have to be if you like work by yourself or solo. It can also just be people that you tend to communicate with quite often, or people coming in town too that you even maybe don't see that often, but there's something that's coming in and creating a bit of dissonance, disharmony in the workspace or in this creative space, because the 5 of Pentacles, as you can see, there's a bit of competition, competitiveness, and also a feeling of possibly feeling overburdened as well. It feels almost like you guys are feeling like you're constantly having to climb uphill to get something accomplished, or maybe your people in the workplace are kind of taking your skills, your capabilities, your needs, and your emotions and just kind of using you as a robot or using you as a cog in the machine. I'm kind of getting this feeling of being taken for granted, or being like you're constantly being put and pitted against another person, or like a competitive energy. You don't have to have both of these, but both could be happening at the same time. But the good news is we do have the Prince of Torches and the 10 of Cups showcasing a little bit of this good news as well, or a bit of relief coming in too. The Prince of Torches is showcasing that someone, if it's not like your boss or these people that we've already talked about, someone is at least not taking you entirely for granted, because we do have the Prince of Torches, and the Prince of Torches is very passionate, they're very skilled, and they're also a really good leader, even though they might not be that far in their profession that much. So you could be a person who is still getting started, or just recently got into the game, and maybe that's why you're feeling that competition or that competitiveness. But on the other side, if it comes to that taking for granted side of things, the good news is that, like I said, someone at least is noticing you. There's an opportunity that's showcasing itself where someone is noticing, what you're bringing to the table. I'm feeling called to like this little creature down below, and they like have their hand held over and their eyes, and it kind of feels like you are the creature, like someone's trying to kind of put you down or show you like your worth isn't that much, right? You're having to carry this person through the thick of it, right? The thick of this uphill space and through all these flames and all of this. And like I said, someone might be taking you for granted, but you see something beyond the horizon, something that's starting to kind of showcase itself. It almost feels like an opportunity. Maybe someone who you work with or network with is going to give you a better opportunity, a better job, or a better place to work. Could be a better raise or just something like that. It feels like some good news is on the horizon in that way, that I feel like someone is noticing you, even though it might not be the people that you hope would be, right? But there is an opportunity for maybe a shift or a change, whether it's in perspective or with those you work with, that someone is wanting to kind of bring forth a new opportunity for you. It's going to be different for everyone. So all I'm saying basically is that Spirit wants you to know that there's a more fulfilling opportunity on the horizon for you, and that
it almost feels like with this Three of Pentacles, like they're showcasing all of these pentacles, like, look at my work, look at all the money I could give you, look at all these things, look at the shiny thing, don't look at, the clouds behind, the disaster and all of this that's causing you stress every day or making things difficult for you. Look. And over here, it's not, the clouds are opening, right? There's a bit of clarity here, a bit of like, I know I'm worthy of a better place. And I feel like maybe you are also coming to that realization. And because of that, there also might be an opportunity starting to showcase itself, and kind of network or align its way into you. It also feels like Spirit's kind of working in the background to help you with this. So I definitely want to see what other signs and symbols come forward for you. So we're going to keep looking a little bit here. So I know not everyone aligns with angels, but I do have this angel messages deck. So sometimes it does have more of that more Christian aligned idea, but not all of them. So, take them however you want, reword the messages, because I do think at their core, there are some really lovely messages in here. So take them how you want. You can completely disregard these messages if you so wish, but I'm going to pull a few of them for those that they align with. So group 1, spirit guided messages that are uplifting. Okay. So let's see what you have here. We have quite a lot of like this like orange and yellow. As a art major and stuff, it always makes me think whenever I see the contrasting colors that there's a contrast of interest or something like that happening. And like I said, you're moving more into a place of alignment. So I really feel like there's something happening there where that dissonance or that competition or that feeling of like being pitted against something, the contrast is starting to kind of be dialed down a little bit, which is nice. But these are the two that we have here. Let's go ahead and read them. So first off, you have the Angel of Gratitude, and I'll go ahead and pull it up here in case you want to read it yourself. But it says, I give thanks and appreciate each conscious moment of my life. It is very important to feel gratitude for all that we have been able to accomplish. When we look at who we really are here and now, we open to the wonderful source of spiritual energy that eternally flows in and around our lives. The feeling of gratitude fills our hearts and uplifts the vibrations of all that is around us. So it's a feeling, like I said, it had to do with, like, I feel like someone's coming in to showcase that they don't just see you as a moneymaker or as like a cog in a machine, that I feel like someone's going to see your worth and your capabilities and maybe offer you a better position, a better job, or a better opportunity, or just making you feel less pitted against. There might be a feeling of, rather than competition, a feeling of community that might start to come in where gratitude is concerned. And another reason I feel like an opportunity will present itself is because you got the Angel of Spontaneity. So it says here, I'll show you the whole thing just in case, but it says, I choose to be spontaneous in my interactions with life. When we free ourselves from the limiting beliefs and values all around us and coming from multiple places, the spiritual energy flows through us naturally. Without the inhibitions and imprison our minds and hearts, we developed an ability to tune in to the essence within people and things and dissipate the fear and emotions that block us from being spontaneous. The precision of spontaneity is something in nature that flows as a gift of love. And so, yes, it kind of like flowers up the idea of spontaneity, right? Spontaneity can mean we're moving away from a place of safety or moving into a place of risk. But the Prince of Torches really showcases action and action-oriented ideas and really making a move or making a shift or making a change, right? It's not about waiting for a change to come forward or waiting for something to kind of fall into your lap. So the fact that you have spontaneity and kind of looking at this as a challenge for you or an opportunity for you to kind of take on something tells me that even though we have these opportunities that are showing up and everything that I have already been kind of talking about, an opportunity that might kind of present itself, it also is showcasing that there can be action behind the scenes from you that you could start doing that are going to give you a lot better and a lot more aligned results for you. And that by taking the risk, by taking the leap, you're actually even though it seems risky in the moment, even though it seems spontaneous in the moment, and kind of out of your element to kind of make this change, away from competition, finding community, or looking for an opportunity where people are actually going to take you for what you truly are and have gratitude and care for you. By doing those things, by risking the biscuit, you're going to actually gain more in the long run. And that I think the risk is really, that Spirit is telling you that the risk is worth it, is basically what I'm getting here. Especially with the Ten of Cups, that's a really lucky card to have come forward. But it does mean that even this opportunity that comes forward isn't always going to be perfect for you. So just have that in mind, that even though a shift is needed, it doesn't mean that the yes, you might have more positives to gain, but it doesn't mean everything is going to be perfect. So I think Spirit wants to remind you of that. So from there, I want to go ahead and pull you 2 more cards, and then we're going to pull some lucky uplifting charms for you. So let's see what else might be coming in from Spirit. Some uplifting good news from Spirit for you. Okay, so the River came forward with, am I receiving peace and soothe? And I'm really seeing, I kind of forgot that this was even on this card, but there's like this little frog in the center of this little river area, and it's making me think of like a frog needing to leap or make that leap of faith, to find peace, or to find a place where you can feel more at peace. So if you don't gain like the perfect situation, or things aren't going to perfectly be like, you may not have the perfect job or the perfect place or the perfect community that you fall into or you move yourself into through taking this action-oriented risk, you will receive peace though. You will receive a bit of peace of mind, a bit of flow into your life where things can flow a lot more easily. There's less obstacles that you have to climb day in and day out, you know what I mean? And so I think that sense of peace is also something that you're kind of seeing here in this 10 of Cups too, with the water and how soothing it is too. So that's really beautiful to be seeing too, is just like a reminder that it may be a bit of a bumpy ride at first, but there is some peace on its way in for you through making these changes that we've talked about. So let's go ahead and pull you 1 more card and see what comes forward. But if you are enjoying the reading so far, do be sure to give this video a like. It really does help the channel, so thank you. You're also welcome to subscribe. But let's see from Spirit what other uplifting, peaceful, hopeful, or encouraging messages are coming forward for those here in group 1. Ooh, that one just flew right across. So let's see what you got here. You got manifestation. Ooh, this definitely feels like the Magician card in tarot. This manifestation card is making me think obviously of magic or ritual or those sorts of things. So if you are a more spiritual person and you work more in the magical woo-woo spiritual realm, there could be some manifestational work or workings that you could work on right now to help create the action that is needed, or to even clarify some things, so that you can see what steps to move forward in. But the other good news too is if you have been manifesting something, whether that's through law of attraction, whether that's through making wishes on a birthday candle, or through just literally putting in the action and the care and taking action towards something, making the moves towards something, and you're hoping that you get the results that you're looking for, Spirit is telling you that something is about to manifest that you've been working really hard for, or you've been asking for or praying for. It does seem like there's an answer to be received here that's going to give you a bit of peace of mind, and also just manifest as quite an empowering thing too, because when I'm looking at this manifestation card, like I said, it reminds me of the Magician card, which is a very empowering card. It's a card that showcases too that you are quite capable, and more capable than you think you are, because like I said, you've been taken for granted for so long that or being pitted against someone for so long that sometimes it clouds the real truth here of the capabilities that you hold, because we can put ourselves down, or we can really listen to those nitpicks and those imperfections or those flaws that people point and pick at. So this manifestation card's also making me think that there's a bit of peace coming into, in the idea that you're kind of seeing yourself for the full picture that you are, and that's quite an empowering point of view that's about to come in too. By making this change, by making this shift, not only are you about to gain some peace of mind, but also to realize how capable and truly powerful you are, and to kind of have some of that power back in your hands, which is really lovely to see too. So with all of your cards here, I want to pull some charms. And we're going to go ahead and toss them on top of all of the cards like I normally do to get some more information. But I also want to see if any fall here in the center for specific ones that are kind of more lucky or are very specific to you, things to really look for and specific signs that might be coming in as well. So we're going to play with the charms and see what comes forward. But do feel free to send your energy and any guided advice to come forward. And let's see, group 1. Okay, so you don't have a ton of charms that actually fell outside of the center here, so I'm very curious. Let's go ahead and zoom you in. So the 2 that fell outside of the center, let's focus on those first. You have this spring. This can represent that this change that might be coming in will happen around the springtime, a spring season, or just that you've got more of a spring in your step coming in soon, a spring forward, or an opportunity that's going to really launch you forward, because that did fall towards that 10 of Cups again. You also have the intuition charm showing up here as well within the kind of action-oriented card, and the idea of needing to take action or to take risks to kind of get that good news that's coming in. So also listening to your intuition is going to be really important here, and Spirit really wants to point that out for you, to really listen to your gut and to listen to your intuition. If something doesn't feel right anymore and something feels off, even if on the top layer they keep glazing it over, like I said, you're getting the money, you're getting you have the benefits, all of this is good, right? If your intuition and your gut is telling you that this is not the right place for you, then that might be something to listen to as well. And in turn, by listening to that, some good news and sort of spring forward opportunities might kind of present themselves. You also have the number 11 showing up here near both the manifestation and over here in your lucky messages, which is all about wish making, right? Like 1111, making a wish at 1111. This just is really a lot about manifestation and wish making. So like I said, some of you have maybe made a wish on a star recently, or on a birthday candle or something like that. And whatever you wished for might be coming sooner than you think. So that's something exciting to see. Otherwise, this is just a really good number to be getting. You also have the nostalgia charm. So like I said, some of these might hit, some of them might not, but you do have the nostalgia charm. Whenever I see this one too, it makes me feel like you're kind of like clipped into a place that you've been in for a while, because this is like a clip from when I was a kid. I would wear it to like school and stuff like that. So it could be just something that you're kind of outgrowing, is what I'm really getting to. And that it's actually something to celebrate, because you do have the celebration charm. So I feel like there might be, like I said, this feeling like someone's making or glazing over the situation to make it seem better than it really is. It's kind of like putting frosting on a dry piece of cake. Like, I feel like you're kind of putting frosting on a dry piece of cake in something in your life right now. And Spirit is telling you to really, celebrate yourself again, and to maybe take down the pedestal of thinking this cake is so good when really, when you take off the frosting, it's not. So I really feel like Spirit is just reminding you that there are new opportunities. There's new mountains to climb, because this is sort of like a mountain goat. and that you can stop climbing now. You can stop climbing for other people or climbing for a past version of yourself or a past perception of yourself or identity that no longer fits. And then lastly here you have the bear claw charm too. And the bear claw charm, this one represents this one, you know what I'm really getting from this one, especially near the 11, is I actually found this on a walk. So it kind of showcases that there might be signs and signals still coming in from spirit that spirit wants you to really listen to and to keep an eye on. So looking for little trinkets in the street or looking for those signs and signals is going to be important too. So yeah, like I said, the charms can be a little bit like it's a hit or miss situation. So if you were feeling certain ones, then take those and leave what doesn't resonate. But I do hope this was useful to you and did give you some exciting good news to kind of hold on to and some guidance and some messages that maybe you needed to hear. And if you did, do be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below how it resonated for you and what little signs and signals you picked up. You're also welcome to subscribe as I put out new videos every single Monday for love, career, spirituality, and so much more. And I'm hoping to be putting out some more educational videos this fall, so keep an eye out for that. But also, if you'd like to support this space and to support yourself, you can check out the snail mail readings that I do down below with all of the information on how those work. If you have a question or query on your mind and you'd like a very treasured and special reading sent to you in the mail. So with all of that said, I do hope this was useful to you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 2. If you've decided to choose this little orange peel star or flower, then this is the pile for you, as we are going to be using the charms as well as several different oracle decks and the tarot deck of choice today being the Cosmic Slumber Tarot, all of which I'll have listed down below in the description. But like I said, we're going to be using all of those things to kind of culminate a spirit-guided message of good news on its way in for you. Some uplifting messages, some relieving messages, some messages of hope or encouragement on the horizon for you. So we're going to be seeing what those are. It isn't to diminish your experience that you might be going through right now, but just to give you a sense of hope or encouragement. So do keep that in mind. Do feel free also to get yourself settled. You can use this as deeply or as surface level as you'd like, and to use it as a tool for you to communicate with your guides or to connect with your guides. So feel free to light some incense to get yourself in a cozy space, to call in your guides if you'd like to, and to kind of bring their energy to the table. And yeah, just really get yourself cozy for this one. Also, do feel free to send your energy in through time and space so we can shuffle these up, and let's see what good news is on the horizon for you. What uplifting messages for you, group 2. Okay, so we're starting off here strong with the Prince of Cups, a prince of whimsy and creativity, and I don't know, there's such a beautiful childlike feeling to this card, an inspiring feeling to this card. If you guys have been going through creative blocks recently, there's a sense of relief coming in from that for sure, because the Prince of Cups has so much inspiration and excitement for, not even excitement, but definitely inspiration and just gumption to go after the things that they love and that are giving them and fueling them. So I want to see what else might be coming through. Group 2, what else do you have? We've got the Prince of Cups. What other uplifting messages are coming through from Spirit for you? Group 2. Okay. So we also have the 8 of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, we've got some good news for sure coming your way. 2 cup cards, 1 pentacle card. I always love the imagery that these cards kind of bring forward. There's this fantasy element, so it's nice to see do you feel the cups in these cards? Do you feel the hand, the person, kind of feel out where you are in these cards. Sorry if I've got another frog in my throat today, so sorry if my voice does any funky things here. But let's go ahead and start kind of where I'm kind of getting where you're at right now and the good news that might be on its way in, because we have the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is a transitionary card. It represents kind of needing to let something go in order to continue to grow or to move yourself forward in some way, because the Eight of Cups represents like some emotional baggage, or sometimes it doesn't even have to be baggage, right? It's just emotional like overwhelm or feeling like just sort of unsettled and like full of waves of emotion, and needing to just kind of leave those behind or let them settle so you can find a sense of peace, or to find a little bit more of yourself to kind of, if you think of this as like waves and waves of emotion, right, you're trying to find some grounding space, some place that can feel safe and sacred to you to be able to kind of ground yourself down. And the fact that you have the Prince of Cups coming up here and the Ace of Cups or Ace of Pentacles rather as well is a beautiful combination to be getting here, because the Eight of Cups is showcasing you feeling in the waves, in the thick of some emotional experience that you're kind of tied to or stuck on right now. And like I said, it could be a creative block. It could be a very emotionally unsettling or full of waves of emotion kind of situation that you're kind of been stuck or settled in the deep depths of it for quite a while. And I feel like that's you're trying to find your way to the surface again. And I think that the good news is that you will find your way there. And I think also that inspiration is on its way in, as well as the fact that the Prince of Cups also represents kind of a sense of flow needing to be found. And then the fact that you have it with the Ace of Pentacles tells me, like, if you think of the water element and the earth element coming together, that represents like a sense of flow and a sense of security that comes together to create this safe space for you. So I feel like right now is the perfect time to be utilizing that experience as fuel for inspiration for you to create something or to move forward on something. Because the Ace of Pentacles represents, it can represent journaling, it can represent putting things on paper. I'm as an artist, I can't help but think of like drawing or, creatively expressing your feelings about a situation and like cathartically writing down, journaling, drawing, getting your charcoals out and making a mess, or getting your paints out and making a mess, and kind of finding a bit of a groundedness in that process and a bit of flow, a creative flow, kind of making its way back in. But if you guys are not creative people, if that is not your thing, I also want to mention too that you just might be finding a bit of inspiration or a bit of groundedness and kind of finding your center again in places like nature, because the Eight of Cups can also represent, like, usually there's a hiker on the card, so you might be going out into nature, you might be camping, you might be going to a park. Maybe that could be a safe place for you, or a safe settling place. And I feel like the good uplifting news is that you're going to be finding that safe space wherever it may be, whether that's through a community online, whether that's through nature, whether that's through your creative process. Regardless, I just feel like you're going to be getting a sense of flow again, and a sense of flow that feels like it's flowing in the right direction versus like the chaos of emotional waves and waves coming in and crashing on you. So things feel like they're settling, things feel like they're centering and they're grounding. I did feel really called as well to like this I don't really know exactly what it is. It felt like they had like a little purse or some sort of pocket. So it also feels like, again, you might just have been currently having to hold on to an emotional situation, and whether that's your emotional situation or maybe something that someone's been kind of confiding in you with, regardless, it feels like it's starting to settle down. So you might not be like the owl or the middleman in the situation much more, or the mediator even. So that's already really exciting. On top of that, though, you might also be getting some news for some financial opportunities coming into, like a new job or a new opportunity to, maybe make just a little bit of change on the side, or just like a little bit of money might make its way to you, or a resource or gift that you might be receiving soon too. So you might be getting like a gift from a friend or a call or something like that. It just feels like there's something tangible on its way in to you as well that might lift your spirits. So those are just the first 3 cards, but let's pull a few more to get some more details. So these are the angel meditation cards and messages, but if you don't work with angels, if that's not your jam, you can disregard these cards entirely. But I do think that they have some interesting artwork that you can get little information on, or to find different signs and signals in just the words themselves. So feel free to use them however you wish. But let's go ahead and pull you 2 cards here from Spirit. So we have the Angel of Freedom. Love that. And then you also have here, it looks like you have 2 cards actually. So we have the Angel of Freedom, the Angel of Grace, and the Angel of Positivity. But because this one was upside down, I'm going to go ahead and set that back in. But feel free to look at this in case this is the one that's really shining out to one of you. But I'm going to go ahead and just take these 2 here first. So we have the Angel of Freedom and the Angel of Grace. Grace being about like it almost just feels like a nice deep breath that you're receiving here, and the Angel of Freedom being just like freedom from this emotional situation, this very maybe even toxic, sloshy feeling that's been in like the pit of your stomach for a while. So let's go ahead and start with the freedom one here. I'll let you pause if you'd like to read. But it says here, the Angel of Freedom. My soul's loving energy flows through my being. I am free. A great freedom is felt when we release the tension created by the lower centers of consciousness that trap us in attachments of power over others, like money and other sensations. When we simply allow the energies of the soul to direct our lives, we understand the freedom of being constructive and positive, accepting people and situations as they are, here and now, free from the side effects of negative reactions, or just reactions that are not very beneficial to you in the long run. And then you also have the Angel of Grace here, and this is the one that I was really feeling called to. I'll go ahead and pull it up here for you. But it says here, each moment is an opportunity to reveal a miracle. Grace is a wonderful quality of the Spirit. When it is manifested into our lives, it brings the energy that uplifts our vibrations and clears the inner barriers. To be in a state of grace is to put into practice the certainty that if we knock on the door, it will be opened. And if we ask, it will be given to us. So there is a feeling of they're almost kind of leaning into the idea of leaning on others or leaning on spirit in some way. It almost feels like they're almost telling you to ask for what you need. They kind of want you to be here, ask for what you need and I can help make sure that happens. Because obviously spirit can only do what it can do, but they can make things start to align for us or to help bring things towards us. But sometimes we need to ask or be open to receiving those gifts from the universe, from spirit, and those opportunities that come in. Because if we constantly close our eyes to them or, kind of put these barriers in front of them, that stops the flow. So there is that sense of flow coming in here too with the Angel of Grace. So from here, let's go ahead and pull 2 more cards. So we're going to pull one of these Prairie Majesty cards and then another card here as well, some charms. But if you are enjoying this reading so far, do be sure to give this video a like. It really does help the channel, so thank you. You're also welcome to subscribe. But let's go ahead and see any more messages here for you, group 2. Okay, so we have... This totally makes sense with what we just talked about with Grace, with butterfly milkweed. Where do I give and receive with match? And I love this because milkweed is one of the weeds or one of the plants out there that has a really deep, loving relationship and symbiotic kind of relationship with butterflies, and that they kind of help... I'm pretty sure, I'd have to look into it all, but I'm pretty sure there's some sort of relationship there that, one cannot exist without the other, or one cannot nourish the other without some sort of relationship happening there. So it's kind of a sense of reciprocity that we're seeing here with butterfly milkweed. And we're also seeing, like I said, with that Ace of Pentacles, I'm feeling so called to the idea that there might be a miracle, manifestation, wish, or opportunity that's presenting itself to you, and you have to be open to looking for it, but also open to not only receiving it, but then to kind of give a sense of gratitude or to give back in some way as well. And then there's also possibly someone in your life that's coming in that you've maybe helped in the past, and they're gonna like kind of give back to you right now. So right now is the time for you to be receiving those gifts, and for you to be the one receiving the opportunities. Because like I said, I almost felt like you might be someone who's like the middle person, the mediator, or constantly, it's not even your emotional situation that you're going through, but you're just somehow involved. Maybe you're a friend who's letting someone kind of lean on you for a little bit, and because of that, there's going to be that not only resolving itself, but also a sense of like someone wanting to give gratitude or to give back in some way to you. So right now is your time to kind of shine. So let's see what else might be showing up for you, group. Group 2. Not sure about that one, so I want to see if anything else pops out. Let me go ahead and take this one, because I think it is going to be this one. So we have reconciliation here. Sorry, I had to cough. But we have reconciliation, and this is about like an alignment or a connection coming back together. So like I said, maybe it's with a friendship right now that you're regaining or coming back together with someone. There is that sense of like those waves and everything, and they're kind of calming, settling back down. And when I look at like all of the cards and the people here, there's a lot of them sort of looking up to the sky, and kind of their chest is really open, their breath is very open, they can speak what they need to say. So there also might be something happening in your life right now too, where maybe you haven't been able to communicate. Maybe that's where that emotional turmoil is coming from, is a sense of needing to communicate or to find some closure of some sort, or to come back together with someone because there's been a bit of a bumpy road there. And I really feel like you're coming back together because you can speak your truth, and you can really open up the breath, and like it just really feels like you can really take a full breath of air again. So that's really exciting. That feels really expansive. And if this is more of that creative process too, it can also be showcasing that by reconnecting with someone that's going to also kind of bring some more inspiration into your life. And the fact that we have match and reconciliation and quite a lot of like a bit of some romantic energy too is not only might this be a friendship, but you might be finding some closure within a romantic relationship as well, or finding some sense of peace, or sort of clearing the air on a situation as well. So take that how you will. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the charms, but what we're going to do with the charms today is actually pull a few that are going to be some lucky charms for you, or some good luck charms for you, or you can just see them as they may hit or miss depending on, who's watching. But they're specific from Spirit, and then we're going to see some other ones that fall on the other cards as well to get some extra information. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space here, and let's mix these up here, group 2. Okay, so not too many here in the center, but we're going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can see. So, okay, immediately I'm feeling called to the fact that you got 2 coins. So over here we have this coin that says no cash value on it. And then we also have a coin showing up here that is a fake coin. So whenever I see this one, it tells me either it's not about money, or it tells me that someone's being fake. But the fact that it came up here on the card about like giving gifts, or even kind of connecting with that 6 of sort of pentacles energy that we got here with the match card, I'm really getting a sense that the opportunity to kind of find a bit of closure with someone, if this is probably not about money, it's probably not about your career or your job, it definitely feels more from an emotional place. It definitely feels more about a friendship or a relationship, some sort of relationship maintenance that's coming through, and some good news on that front. And I feel like Spirit really wanted to be like, hey, this is what I actually mean. Let's be a little bit more specific here. And also that if it is about money, if it is about something like that for you, and maybe your creative drive or inspiration there, it does seem that you're not finding a lot of value in your work right now, and you're kind of searching for value again, and you're starting to find a bit of a match there. On top of that, though, we have the Haya charm falling next to reconciliation, which just tells me that someone's going to possibly reach out soon, whether that's you reaching out to this person that you maybe feel like this is called to, whether this is a friendship or a more romantic situation, to find that closure, to open back up a situation so that it can properly kind of come to a close, or to open the air. It does seem like communication is needed, and it does seem like either you or they are going to be reaching out very soon, and it's going to give you that opportunity to open that line of communication again. You also have the trim charm showing up here, as well as more on that freedom energy that we were getting earlier with this little dove, with the angel of freedom. This can be very literal and specific in that your spirit guides are telling you to look at the birds, or to keep an eye on the birds, and maybe that's going to give you some signals. The trim charm is telling me that it doesn't mean that you need to necessarily cut someone off entirely, or to find a huge amount of closure with someone, but like I said, with that reconciliation of reconnecting, it might just need some open air, or to close at least one chapter of something, right? It's just a trim. It's a bit of maintenance, like, trimming your nails is just a bit of maintenance, but it's not necessarily an end to something. And then also with the idea of freedom too, that by creating a little bit more of this open air and open communication, you're also maybe going to gain a little bit more freedom there too. So I'm starting to lose my voice here, but those are all of the cards and charms here for you, group 2. I do hope this was useful to you, and if it was, do be sure to give this video a like. It really does help, so thank you. And do let me know in the comments down below how it resonated for you, and if specific charms or little signals and signs came through from your intuition. I truly would love to hear. And if you haven't already, do feel free to subscribe, as I put out new videos every single Monday for love, career, spirituality, educational videos on charm casting and other art magic-y things. So do feel free to subscribe. You're also welcome to support yourself and this channel through looking at the offerings that I have down below on my Instagram and Linktree. Down there you can find more information on the private readings that you can get for snail mail readings, where I send a letter to you in the mail. It's typewritten on a vintage typewriter, and it's a very treasured reading that you can receive on any question or query on your mind. So do feel free to check those out alongside any other offerings that I might be providing at this time. Plus there's the Kindred tip jar down below as well, if that is something that calls to you, as everything that goes in there goes right back into the channel. So thank you so much for supporting this space, supporting yourself, for checking out this reading and joining along in here with me. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, group 3. If you've decided to choose this little golden butterfly here, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set it here so you can see it during your reading today. We look into the uplifting and more encouraging messages and good news on its way in for you, using the charms as well as several different oracle decks, and the tarot deck of choice here being the Cosmic Slumber Tarot, all of which I'll have listed in the description down below. But yeah, we're going to be looking to see what Spirit has coming in for you when it comes to that good news, those encouraging, hopeful messages, to kind of alleviate or give relief, or to just give you a little bit of hope in your current situation. So do feel free to take and leave what does and does not resonate with you, and also to use this, as we are going to be connecting with spirit guides and those who kind of work in your favor on the spiritual realm. Do feel free to use this as a ritual or a ceremony or a fun little activity or working for you. So feel free to light some incense or light a candle, or really get in that spiritual zone if you so wish. You can call in your guides if you want to, but you can also keep this kind of playful and fun too. So whatever you wish and whatever really works for you, but let's go ahead and start really getting into it here for you, group 3. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space. I also think it's important while you're doing that to let you know that my voice is starting to kind of go in and out. So if it starts to get a little funny here, that will be why. But let's go ahead and see here for you, group 3. What uplifting, encouraging insights and messages are coming through from Spirit on your current situation right now, and anything they wish to tell you? Group 3. Group 3. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords as well as the Three of Cups showing up here for you. But let's go ahead and pull one more to give it a little trio. There we are. Okay, so you had both the Two of Swords, the Three of Cups, and Temperance showing up here. Totally makes sense. Like, just in general, sometimes I get different energies and feelings based off of not only the cards, but just like the general air or aura of the reading, however you wish to see it. But just in general, this one feels not necessarily heavier, but it just feels kind of cloudier, or like there's like a cloud over, not even just over you, but just it feels like there's like a sense of uncertainty or a sense of like, a need for clarity here. And I feel like where that clarity is needed is something around some like balance that has been kind of shifted, or maybe you're not sure if you're on like you're maybe on some shaky ground, or feeling a little bit like there's a mist in the air about like a friendship or a really close sacred relationship in your life. Maybe it's with Spirit, especially since we're looking at like a spirit guided relationship and Temperance coming up here. So it may be that you're feeling a little bit clouded or uncertain about your spiritual relationships right now, whether that's with God, deities, with religion, or something as simple as loved ones. Not that they're simple, but you know what I mean, or as accessible maybe as loved ones beyond the veil. But there is this sense of like a spiritual element, but I also am getting like in the physical realm, whenever we see the Three of Cups, it represents like deep soul connection kind of relationships in your life. So whether that's romantic or whether that's with your family, or a lot of the time this can relate to friendships, there seems to be like a sense of like unbalanced ground, or feeling like you're on an uneasy plane with them. This does remind me a little bit of the end of pile 2. So if you're feeling like not sure as we move through this reading, do feel free to check out pile 2 as well. It might give you a little bit more information there, or it might be a blend of both of the readings. But regardless, I feel like, especially since we're getting this sort of a Leo energy, and we're currently in Leo season as of when I'm recording this, there is this sense of like a shift or a change within this season that's kind of changing the balance of your relationship. That could be that some of you are maybe moving from a friendship with someone into a romantic relationship, and maybe that's why it's uneasy. It could be a very positive thing, or a crush or something like that. But it can also be, like I said, a spiritual relationship, maybe family that's moving, maybe, something in the dynamic is changing within a relationship in your life that's very sacred and important to you, and that you really put a lot of care and love into. And the reason why I'm getting this uncertainty too is because we got the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords represents someone who's very indecisive, very much always looking for clarity, but not really realizing that a lot of that clarity actually comes from themselves. In that the Two of Swords, they always have like this little blindfold here, and it's about needing to listen to your gut, listen to your own instincts, listen to how your own body is reacting, or how you're feeling about this situation. And that the answer that you might be looking for, whether that's to make a move, whether that's to reconnect, or to, whatever clarity that you're seeking, it's already within yourself. Spirit is telling you that you already hold the answers that are needed to be able to make a decision, or to be able to move forward on something that you're feeling a bit unsteady on. The eagle here is calling out to me as well in the idea of like trying to find a sense of focus. So it may be that right now you just haven't had like one-on-one time with this person, or if it's not a person and like I said, it's more of a spirit guide situation, or even the relationship with yourself, that maybe you just need to give yourself a little bit more care and focus, or to have like a one-on-one with this person, to have a more open conversation with this person, and that's going to give you that good news and that good clarity. I think that there's going to be an opportunity for a one-on-one conversation with them very soon. And there's especially within Leo season. But I feel like we need some more clarity in general here, right? Like I said, things don't feel super clear. So of course we want to pull some more cards. So let's see what else might be coming in for some good news or some encouraging messages for you. And I think the encouragement that I don't know if I've really said here is just that I feel like your current situation, even though it seems unclear, like I said, the clarity seems to be on its way in, especially within this season. But I am going to go ahead and pull you 2 more cards here, and these are going to be from the Angel Messages deck. You can disregard these messages if angels are not your thing, if you don't want to connect with those, or if just the cards aren't really hitting in the right way. But you're welcome to change the language or do whatever you'd like with these cards. But I just thought I would preface that you don't have to take them to heart if that's not your jam. So we have the Angel of Birth and the Angel of Partnership. Interesting. And you also have the Angel of Courage on the bottom as well. So, okay, the fact that you have both partnership and birth showing up is that you may already be in a partnership or a relationship with someone, and it can be very literal here. So I'm not going to go too deeply on that in case that is, it's a very very sensitive subject, so I won't go too deeply on that. But I will say that there is an opportunity for the birth of a relationship to form with someone right now, or to have a relationship sort of change, or there's an opportunity for a relationship to sort of really blossom right now. So like I said, if you're worried about making a move, or you're worried about changing the dynamic of a relationship in your life, this is the time to do it. And Spirit is really telling you to at least put yourself out there, because I think there's an opportunity for something to really blossom. So let's start with the Angel of Partnership. I'll go ahead and hold it up here in case you want to read it yourself. But it says here, the Angel of Partnership. Each one I meet is my partner in the here and now of life. When there is partnership, there is no domination. The parts involved in a same situation share their abilities and talents to create a shared goal, to walk together toward that goal, aware of the process it implies. Is true partnership opposites discovering that they are absolutely complementary. So I feel like that's a long-winded way of basically saying like there's a partnership that's going to feel very equal as well in your life right now, especially with Temperance, which is all about balance and mingling and mixing things. It also has a lot to do with experimentation too, right? That you're kind of experimenting with that shift in dynamic as well, and it doesn't all have to happen at once, but there is this feeling of like, by changing the dynamic of this partnership or relationship in your life, that you're also going to be gaining more equal ground and more level playing field there, right? And an open air. Like it just feels much more open. Then we also have the Angel of Birth, and it says here, the Angel of Birth. I am being born each moment to the newness in my life. When a cycle is complete, it holds within it the time to welcome birth. Birth is the moment of transition that precedes a great revelation. All that has just been born is full of freshness, novelty, and innocence. Nothing is more important than the birth of love in our hearts. And I think this also reminded me too, because birth can be a very physical process, obviously. So even if it's not a relationship to a person, a spirit, or yourself, it can also be to a place or a physical thing or object that partnership or relationship is changing with as well. So you might be experimenting with a new medium for like art, or it could be a new home, or it could be a new job or something like that too. Like there could be something more physical or tangible that's changing. It could also mean that there's also an opportunity for something like that to be coming in too very soon for you. So let's go ahead and pull you 2 more cards, and then we're going to pull some charms here as well to see some lucky charms on their way in for you. But if you have been enjoying this reading so far, do be sure to give this video a like. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really helps the channel to grow and evolve here, so I really do appreciate it. But let's go ahead and pull you a few more cards here to get some more good news, encouragement, hope, and insights on their way from Spirit for you. Ooh. So the one that fell into my lap here was the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail Emerge. What am I opening into? You also had the Grasshopper, in case these messages call out to you. I'll go ahead and pull these ones up for you. The Disisal with Warble, and then also the Moon. But the one that flew right into my lap is the one I'm actually going to read on, and that is Emerge with the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. And what am I opening up to? So like I said, it really felt like something is opening up, like the clouds are moving aside, things are mixing, things are changing, the ground is starting to kind of, it also makes me think of like the idea of like the caterpillar and the chrysalis. Like you're currently in the chrysalis stage, or you're trying to move into the chrysalis stage where things are kind of mixing into like some weird soup before you turn into the butterfly, right? It's like a DNA soup. So before things can get better, things are going to have to get a little weird or a little bit awkward or a little bit different or a little bit, it's not going to be perfect, but there is this mixing, this mingling, this playful stage that is actually going to be really good for you in the long run, and is an opportunity for you to really birth and change things up before things start to solidify again, right? When we go through a period of change or transition, a period of revelation, or a period of realizations, this gives us the opportunity to then make some changes before we kind of fall back on that solid ground again. Because that's a cycle just in general humans like to repeat and rinse and repeat of kind of chaos and then order. And so right now you're heading into like this sort of more chaotic stage, but the positive side of this is that it's going to be much more opening for you and to give you a lot more opportunity. This transition, this evolution of this relationship is going to give you so many more opportunities in the long run from where you were previously. So we have that showing up here, but let's go ahead and pull you final card before the charms. So group 3 here. What else do we have coming up here? Group 3. Okay, and we have willpower. I honestly feel like there's another card, so I'm going to pull you one more. We have willpower and strength. Okay, so those are very similar cards. So there's this sense of like courage, strength, willpower that you're kind of moving into. This willpower card reminds me a lot of this 2 of Swords, especially when we set it up that way. And the idea that like where you were previously kind of crossed and kind of confused, or you're not really sure where you're going or what to do or how to mix these things together. Willpower is showcasing like an alignment that we're getting here with the Earth and the Moon here, that you're falling in more alignment or a more aligned partnership with someone, and then it's going to also give you more strength. We also have the butterfly showing up here again. So butterflies are really, really showing up within your pile. I think they even have I don't think I've ever noticed that in this card until today, but I think they actually have butterfly wings as well. I know that butterflies in general are a very common sort of spirit guide message. So if you were looking for those spirit guide messages, that the spirit guide message of the butterfly is coming through really heavily for you. And then we also have more of these little tigers. So that makes me think of the tiger, the lion, the tigers here. So it is not only a message of courage that's coming in for you, that you're going to have more courage, and that there's this feeling of hope and courage and like this bubbling courage and strength coming in, but also again that timing wise, that around Leo season, this is the time where you're going to find that intuitive strength and that intuitive instinctual feeling to make this shift and to make this change in this relationship for the better. So Yeah, embrace the soup of the experience and see what comes out of it, because I think that there's something really beautiful, a new phase in your relationship that is going to be really beautiful for you. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and pull you some of those charms. So today we're obviously going to still keep the other charms that fall outside of this mat in mind, but we're also going to be pulling some specifically from spirit that are coming through for you. These could be lucky charms. You could see them that they're very specific to you. The charms are a hit or miss experience, so feel free to do as you wish here. Oh my gosh, and I just realized you picked the butterfly. You picked the butterfly. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love when spirit aligns things like that. You have butterflies everywhere. So I'd be interested to see if you get more here. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space. Let's see here from Spirit Group 3. You? Okay, so let's get a little look-see here. So first off, you have the lion sitting right on the top here, so there's more of that lion energy showing up. But we actually didn't get any more butterflies. We got some very different messages showing up here from spirit. So we have the trash charm. So whenever I see this, it represents something that we need to let go of, a limiting belief or something that we need to just throw in the trash, put it away, you know what I mean? So there's something showing up here that's being enlightened, that's going to give you a little bit more strength coming forward, some sort of realization about something that you need to let go of, that you're kind of holding on your back, some sort of belief that's kind of limiting you from being able to not only find your strength and courage, but connect with your intuition. So they're not being very specific about it, but it does seem like something is going to be resolved there that's been kind of stopping or holding you back. And I was thinking as I was stirring up the charms as well, is that with the idea of all the butterflies, beyond the transition side of this, because I did get this feeling that it might be in a crush sort of stage with someone, or even something, right? Sometimes we, kind of are flirting with ideas or flirting with new projects or whatever it might be, new relationships, that you might be in this like kind of flirting butterflies in your stomach kind of feeling too, that is going to give you more of that instinctual energy as well to follow. We have that DNA soup showing up here because they actually got like the chromosome charms. This makes me think of like it's in your DNA, it's in your instincts. So we have that DNA feeling showing up here again. We have the self-love charm or the self-care charm. So for some of you, this is a relationship that is very personal to you or is literally about you. And then we got the jump the gun charm. So whenever I see this, it represents to make sure you don't like jump the gun or make changes all at once. You have the whole Leo season. You have a lot of time still to sort of, get the courage that you need here, that you don't have to fly into it at the first chance. But regardless, I still think that because this fell in your good luck charms, that for some of you, following that instinct to just go for it very suddenly or rapidly for something is probably going to actually end up being more beneficial to you than kind of waiting something out. So basically, in contrast with everything else, really follow your heart there and follow those instincts, because maybe you do need to jump the gun. Maybe you do need to sort of have like 20 seconds of insane courage and see what comes from it. So those are all of the cards and charms that I have here for you, group 3. If you did enjoy this reading, do be sure to give this video a like. As I mentioned earlier, it really does help. And I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments about how the different charms came up for you, this trash charm or other charms or cards, and how it was really aligning for you. So I'd love to hear. You're also welcome to subscribe if you haven't already, as I put out new readings every single Monday for love, career, spirituality, and I'd love to have you a part of the community. I also do have a entire master guide reading or educational video on charm casting if that's something you're interested in. And if you have a question or query on your mind, even beyond this reading, maybe you want to connect with your spirit guides even further, or to go down a different kind of more love reading route, then do feel free to check out the snail mail readings that I do for personal private readings, where I send a letter to you in the mail. It is typewritten on a vintage typewriter. It's very treasured by those who have received them. And many have come back to me telling me that they've found insights even years later. So do feel free to check those out down below to support yourself and to support this channel and space. And you're also welcome to check out the Kindred tip jar, as everything that goes in there goes right back into the channel for deck supplies, batteries, and camera equipment. So I really do appreciate that side of things too. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, for just entering this very uplifting space with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.